Anong paman, magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong himpilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 11.
Good morning, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is now 11:01 a.m. and this is Cool News at 11. My name is Carol, and we'll be here to cover the headlines that we have covered earlier from Cool News Early Edition. Let's begin with the headlines. The Quezon City Police District again on Wednesday filed the first criminal complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte that stemmed from her outburst over the weekend in her attempt to prevent the transfer of her top aide from detention at the House of Representatives to the Correctional Institution for Women. The QCPD accused Duterte, the chief of her security unit, and several of her bodyguards of direct assault, disobedience, and equivocation during a commotion past midnight on last Saturday, as the police were preparing to move Duterte's chief of staff, Lulaika Lopez, to the St. Luke's Medical Center from the Veterans Memorial Medical Center. Armed Forces Chief of Staff General Romeo Bardo Jr. on Wednesday said he had ordered the replacement of the Duterte's security chief and the military personnel who are members of the Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group. The main complainant in the case, Dr. Van Jason Villamor of the Philippine National Police Health Service, accompanied by his witnesses and officers from the QCPD, filed the charges before Assistant City Prosecutor Romel Delos Reyes of Quezon City. Villamor is a police lieutenant colonel. Villamor accused Army Colonel Raymond Dante La Chica, commander of the VPSPG and unidentified Duterte bodyguards, of shoving him at the BMMC after Lopez was carried into an ambulance. PNP Chief General Roman Marbel had written runner to get the identities of other members of the VPSPG who were involved in the transfer of Lopez. In a video that surfaced, VPSPG head Colonel Raymond Dante La Chica was seen physically pushing and assaulting the PNP doctor in charge, which could lead to a direct assault complaint, Marbel said in his letter. Lopez was ordered detained last week by the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability after being cited and condemned for undue interference in the House inquiry into the alleged misuse of confidential funds by the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education, where Duterte was the Education Secretary. Lopez 15 was brought to the BMMC as she suffered a panic attack late Friday after House security officers informed her that the Good Government panel had decided to move her to the CIW so that Duterte would no longer need to keep her company at the House. Lopez refused to leave her detention cell and later called an online press conference detailing the House plans, tearfully saying that she feared for her life and didn't want to be detained at the correctional institution as she wasn't criminally accused. Duterte, who occupied the office of her brother, Davos Lee Representative Apollo Duterte, to be close to Lopez during detention, came to her rescue and announced that she was acting as her lawyer and stopped her aide's transfer to the CIW. PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Juan Forjado said Villamor, who is assigned to the QCPD, was instructed to assist in the transfer of Lopez, but Colonel La Chica pushed him and we cannot let that pass, she said in a press briefing. La Chica's actions obviously can qualify to a case of direct assault since he laid his hands on agents of a person of authority whose presence there is by virtue of his performance of his official duty, Forjado said. Marvel said the filing of the complaint marked a crucial step in the legal process and vowed that the PNP will continue to uphold its duty to serve with integrity and professionalism. The PNP continues to prioritize the rule of law and will fully cooperate with the ongoing legal proceedings to ensure transparency and accountability, he said. William Moore was wearing his police uniform, not a doctor's scrubs, when the alleged shuffling happened. He declined to give details of his complaint to reporters after he emerged from the prosecutor's office on Wednesday. Duterte herself is under investigation after taking over from Lopez's press conference, including her professional rants and especially her disclosure that she had contracted an assassin with President Marcos, First Lady Lisa Ayala Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. She said her instruction was to kill the three if an alleged plot to kill her succeeds, adding that her revenge for the grave was no joke, quote unquote. It was the strongest blow she has made that finally shattered the once formidable alliance between the Duterte and Marcos political class. Fajardo said the PNP had deployed 25 police officers to the VP-SPG on Tuesday following a request from the AFP to augment Duterte security. I think this was triggered by a possible recall of some of the AFP personnel under detail of the VP-SPG as a result of what happened last Saturday, she said. Marco redeployed 170, sorry, redeployed 75 police officers who were assigned to the OPP's security force to various posts in Metro Manila in July because he said the PNP was short-staffed and there was no threat to Duterte. He said at the time that securing the vice president is merely the job of the Presidential Security Command, a military unit, and that the police were only there to augment. Broders said he would temporarily replace the troops assigned to the VP-SPG. Speaking at the Military Leadership Summit at Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City, Broders said La Chica and other VP-SPG personnel would be replaced with a contingent from the AFP and the PNP. He said the AFP received a subpoena from the PNP calling the members of the VP-SPG to end investigation. So we decided to follow the subpoena of the Philippine National Police so that they could shed light on the investigation, he added. Broders said they have yet to determine the total number of VP-SPG members who will be replaced, but he assured the Vice President that she would not be left without a security detail, citing that her security is still of primary concern to us. Because if something happens to the Vice President, this could be the beginning of chaos because of her statement that if something happens to her, she will do some actions to take against the President, First Lady, and House Speaker, he said. According to him, some groups could take advantage and harm the Vice President and accuse someone and that could cause chaos. So we will not allow that. We will not allow that. That is why we will protect our Vice President, he added. In Davao City, the Davao Regional Police brushed aside insinuations that politics was behind the decision to reassign 65 officers from Region 11 to various posts in Luzon. Police Major Catherine De La Rey, the regional police spokesperson, told reporters on Wednesday that the order to uproot the officers of various ranks from the region was a decision taken by the National Police Command and just coincided with the eruption of the political tensions between the Marcos administration and the Vice President. The Vice President's security force was created at Duterte's request days before she officially took office on June 30, 2022. She said the creation of the VP-SPG highlighted the importance of having an independent group that would provide security and protection to the country's vice presidents. Duterte said she made the request in anticipation of future elections and the possibility of strained relations between the president and vice president. Previously, the PBSC, which was called the Presidential Security Group, provides protection and escort for the president, vice president, and their immediate families, and for visiting dignitaries. After her resignation from the Marcos cabinet took effect in July 2024, the VP-SPG had around 400 members. Former Vice President Leni Robredo only had 83 security men assigned to her, down from 108 when she took office in 2016, according to her former spokesperson Barry Gutierrez. And Vice President Sara Duterte could face terrorism charges under the very law her father had signed as the Department of Justice viewed her threat to kill the president as an act intended to harm or threaten the lives of people with the goal of instilling fear. Duterte's statement was considered by Malacanang as an active threat against the president, who later said he would fight it. The Presidential Security Command tightened the security and for the president and his family. Her disclosure prompted the National Bureau of Investigation to issue a subpoena on Monday, summoning her to the NBI's main office at 9 a.m. on Friday, November 29, so she could explain her son. Duterte was asked to shed light on the investigation of the alleged grave threats under Article 282 of the revised Penal Code in connection with Section 6 of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 with Republic Act No. 10175 and possible violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 with Republic Act No. 11479. Justice Undersecretary Jason Andres, speaking to reporters on Wednesday, cited Section 4A of the Anti-Terrorism Act, which defines terrorism as any act intended to cause death, serious bodily injury, or endanger a person's life. The law specifies that when such acts are carried out to intimidate the public, create fear, or spread a message of terror, the offender shall be deemed guilty of terrorism and face life imprisonment. It is clear under our laws that if you take actions to harm or threaten another person's life, that falls under terrorism, especially if the purpose is to intimidate or create an atmosphere of fear and contempt. He emphasized that the threat went beyond mere words, noting that she has already begun to act on it. She herself said that she had spoken to someone, identified the targets, 3 days with clear instructions on what to do, and was added. Others also pointed out the political applications of the threat. We have to understand that in the proper context. The vice president is the beneficiary if ever the president's office is vacated by death or incapacity, he said. He underscored the gravity of Duterte's assassination plot, saying that a threat to the president is a threat to every Filipino. Can you imagine a situation where the vice president is accused of plotting against the president's life and then the president actually dies? Address said. Authorities are currently investigating Duterte's death threats against the president, alongside another investigation on her father's call for military action to correct the country's fractured governance. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, a former Supreme Court Chief Justice appointed to the post by the elder Duterte in 2018, condemned the former Chief Executive for his selfish and blind motives in urging the military to take action against Marcos and called for his overthrow so that his daughter could take control of Malacanang. He will go to great and evil lengths, such as installing our professional armed forces by asking the military to odd for his plans to succeed, Bersamin said in a statement on Tuesday. Address said the ex-president's call was bordering on sedition and is legally actionable. The DOJ official said the statements of the vice president's father would also be investigated alongside other similar declarations, including people encouraging some form of demonstration. We don't know whether this is coming from the efforts of the former president or elsewhere, but again, we will need to examine every angle, Address said. The threat issued by the vice president against Mr. Marcos is something that should also be taken into consideration, whether it is really part of the larger plan for destabilization. It is now 11:12 a.m. as we will return with more headlines right here on koolNews at 11. So stay along with us. We will be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Neutral Lifestyle Low-Fat Milk Powder. So good you'll float. Product excellence of Hongsang. Star Wax Floor Wax with waterproof formula. Long-lasting shine. Star Wax Floor Wax. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. And Smart Dishwashing Paste. Double tanggaling formula against sebo and bacteria. Smart Dishwashing Paste, a product of ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. Araw-araw ang ating Pasko sa iyong himpilan, ang inyong tahanan.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Star Wax, Star Wax, Wax. Star Wax, Star Wax, Wax. Always remember, sa paglinis, pakitawin ang sahig. Mrs. Star Wax, Star Wax, Wax. Kitang na to the max.
Star Wax, ang number 1 floor wax. May waterproof formula. Buhusan man ang tubig, balikin tabang sahig.
Star Wax, Star Wax, Wax. Kitang na to the max, max, max.
Star Wax Floor Wax, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Mula sa number 1, Smart Dishwashing Paste.
Ang galing-galing mo! Smart Dishwashing Paste ko! Pritong ulam na masebo, plato at kaldero. Tanggaling for everyday.
Ganyan pag Smart ang dishwashing paste. May double tanggaling formula. Tanggal galing ang sebo at bacteria.
Bahid para walang bahid, linis fantastic sa metal at plastic. Number 1 ko to! Tanggaling-galing mo! Smart Dishwashing Paste.
Heavy duty linis bawat pahid.
Smart Dishwashing Paste, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Babala sa publiko, Pinababatid ng National Telecommunications Commission o NTC sa publiko na may natatanggap itong mga ulat tungkol sa mga taong nagpapanggap di umano na tauhan o empleyado ng NTC. Ayon sa ilang ulat na natatanggap ng NTC Consumer Welfare and Protection Division, ang mga scammer ay tumatawag sa biktima at tatakutin na ang numero nito ay sangkot sa isang scam. Ang nasabing biktima ay hihikayatin na magbigay ng pera upang hindi na masampahan ng kasong kriminal at matanggal sa listahan ng mga nang-i-scam ang numero nito. Madiin ay pinapaalahanan ng NTC ang publiko na ibayong mag-ingat mula sa ganitong uri ng modus. Ito ay isang uri din ng scam at hindi lehitimo ang mga tawag na ito. Kung may impormasyon sa ganitong uri ng scam, maaaring ipaalam sa NTC upang magawan agad ng karampatang aksyon. Pagbigay alam ang ganito o iba pang uri ng mga scam sa mga susunod na opisyal na mekanismo ng NTC. Complaint links sa www.ntc.gov.ph. Pag-email sa contratextcam@ntc.gov.ph, consumer@ntc.gov.ph, pagtawag sa 1682 24/7 consumer hotline at ang mga numerong 892-04464, 892-67722, and 892-13251 mula 8 a.m. hanggang 5 p.m. Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Nagpapasalamat ang NTC sa mga miyembro ng publiko na nagpabatid tungkol sa nasabing uri ng panloloko.
Enjoy up to 50% off on your favorite brands pag nag-GCash ka ngayong Pasko. Lahat merry sa Merry GCash. See the GCash app for more details. Promo runs from November 15, 2024 to January 15, 2025. Per DTI Fair Trade Permit number FTEB 205923 series of 2024. GCash is supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Hirap magpahinga? May mga gamot para dyan. Pero, relax. Mag-efficacent oil. Sa unang amoy at hagod, ramdam ang ginhawa na trusted by all. Unahin ang trusted ginhawa. Unahin ang efficacent.
Methyl salicylate plus menthol plus camphor is a generic name of efficacent oil. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Mas matindi na ang init at ulan ngayon, kaya dapat Elastosil na with Solastomer 3X formula. UV resistant, puno na flexible premium polymers. Matibay, 3 times na tumatagal. Versus competing brand. Tag-init o tag-ulan, Elastosil mo yan. Pioneer, do it right.
Te, pabili po ng dalawang Nor Chicken Cubes.
O, eto.
Ha? Isa lang po to ah.
Doble yan. Ang Nor Cubes ay may doble-doble. Nor Cubes doble. 2-4 lang yan. Sulit na sulit. Mapapaulit. Nor Cubes doble pack. Ang sarap-sarap ng doble-doble with Nor Cubes doble pack. 2 cubes for 10 pesos SRP lang.
Also available in pork.
Promo lasts from January 2, 2024 to January 1, 2025 per DOH FDA CRR permit number 1589 series of 2023.
Mamadaming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mamadaming time, Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Sa Champion Quick Wash Technology, less time sa lamada, more time sa pamilya.
Tayo na sa iyo. Tayo'y magpatingin. Tayo na sa iyo. Sila'y eksperto pagagaling. Sa iyo. Inyong mata ay mahalin. EO Executive Optical. Ang practical. EO Executive Optical. Ito'y practical.
Araw-araw ang ating Pasko sa iyong himpilan, ang inyong tahanan.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Let's continue with our headlines as detained televisions about Kibuloy was transferred on court orders to the Pasig City Jail after his medical trial ended on Wednesday. Philippine National Police spokesperson Brigadier General Juan Forjato said the Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader's transfer was ordered by the Pasig City Regional Trial Court Branch 159, which was hearing the qualified trafficking charges against him. Previously detained at the PNP Coastal Center at Camp Cameron in Quezon City, Kibuloy was directly transported to his quarters as his court-permitted stay at the Philippine Heart Center in the same city had lapsed. The PNP turned over custody of the appointed son of God to the Pasig jail's male dormitory at 5:05 p.m. for said. You have to remember that his detention here at Camp Cameron is only temporary to begin with, and since the medical assessment is done and we have submitted complaints to the court, so there is no reason for him to stay here at Camp Cameron, he said, or she said. Kibuloy, whose trafficking case is non-bailable, was taken to the PHC on November 8 for irregular heartbeat. He was returned to the PNP detention center on November 16 after the Pasig court denied his request for a hospital arrest. He was brought back to the facility on November 23 after he secured an extension of his medical furlough due to a mouth infection from his dental implants. Kibuloy surrendered to authorities in September after a 16-day police search of the KOGC's Sparley compound in Davao City. Arrested with him were his fellow accused Ingrid Canada, Celeste Canada, Jacqueline Roy, and Sylvia Semanes. Kibuloy has another pending case in the Quezon City Court for child abuse, discrimination, and exploitation. He is also wanted in the United States, where he faces charges of conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, sex trafficking of children, conspiracy, and bulk cash smuggling. A warrant for his arrest was issued by a U.S. court on November 10, 2021. The Commission on Elections, COMELEC, has disqualified House of Representatives aspirant Edgar Eras from running in the 2025 polls due to propagation of false information to disrupt the electoral process. The COMELEC Second Division granted the disqualification petition filed by Petitioner Raymond Salipot against Ferrex for violating provisions in the Omnibus Election Code. Respondent Edgar Eras is disqualified as a candidate for the position of member House of Representatives in the 2nd District of Caloocan City for the 12th of May 2025 national and local elections. The COMELEC's decision relates to the media on Wednesday said. The decision added that respondents' acts clearly violate Section 261C11 of the OEC. Consequently, this violation constitutes a ground for his disqualification as a candidate under Section 1C3 7 of COMELEC Resolution number 11046. Section 261C11 of the OEC prohibits the propagation of false and alarming information as an intent to disrupt the elections and cause confusion among voters. Salipot previously filed a complaint against Eras for alleged violation of the same provision in the OEC. However, the disqualification case filed against Eras is not yet final. The decision said that the petitioner presented pieces of evidence against Eras, who made claims against the COMELEC and the 2025 polls in several media outlets, such as declaring the 18 billion pesos contract of COMELEC and Mirror Systems as highly anomalous. It also noted that respondents' unverified claims pertain to the general conduct of the elections, as he attacks the very machine and technology to be utilized in the 2025 national and local elections. Glaring is the fact that there was not any modicum of evidence provided by the respondent aside from various statements made in the media. Hence, the information propagated by respondent on the general conduct of elections are false, it added. In April, Eras asked the Supreme Court to stop the poll body from implementing the contract with Mirror Systems, claiming that it violates the Republic Act 7369 or the Intermediate Election Law. Meanwhile, in the memorandum released Wednesday, Garcia said that he is inhibiting himself from handling or participating in any case involving Eras in view of the cases filed against him by Eras. This decision is made to preserve the principles of fairness and impartiality, ensuring the integrity of the proceedings under my jurisdiction and avoiding any potential perception of bias or conflict of interest, the memorandum read. In August, Eras filed a grave complaint against Garcia over the 18 billion pesos contract deal with Mirror Systems. And the lead chair of the House Court Committee expressed concerns about the well-funded and obfuscated troll campaign to discredit their ongoing inquiry into the links between the illegal drug trade and offshore gaming operations. In his opening remarks during the Megapanos hearing on Wednesday, Circle the Noted Representative Robert A. Sparvis scored illegal drug syndicates for allegedly funding online scam operations to undermine their investigation and intimidate their witnesses. It's truly suspicious how there is so much money going around to fund trolls who are very obviously protecting the very people we are investigating here, said Barbers, who chairs the Committee on Dangerous Drugs. They're trying to tarnish the image of the Quad Committee even though our only goal is to ferret out the truth, said Barbers. It's why we encourage our fellow Filipinos to please come forward and give information if they know something about the issues we are talking about. Since the inquiry began in August, the Quad Committee has been the target of what appears to be coordinated troll campaigns with targeted messaging, calling them Huwat.com, fraudulent committee, with the individual members being well-aligned online. Barbers himself lately became the target of an online narrative that he was a high-value drug lord after some influencers alluded to his relatives' involvement in illegal drugs following a buy-bust operation in his province. The post also claimed that the rumors are not beer cuento barbero, or a colloquial term for barbershop talk, supposedly an allusion to Barber's surname. But the issue actually goes beyond the committee, as troll farms seem to be going after House members who have raised concerns over the alleged mismanagement of the Department of Education and the Office of the Vice President as well. Also, during Wednesday's hearing, the Quad Committee cited and condemned the former mayor of Mexico, Pampanga, supposedly for lying about his ties to Philippine offshore gaming operations. Ex-Mayor Teddy Tumang was also ordered detained at the House of Representatives detention facility after he supposedly lied about not knowing Eti Young and Willie Ong, who were revealed to be the incorporators of realty firm Empire 999, which owned the Mexico Pampanga warehouse where more than 3 billion pesos worth of shubu was discovered in 2023. Tumang is accused of knowingly supporting the illegal acquisition of land by Young and Ong since 2016, said Pampaga's Representative Gabriel Listro. During the hearing, the committee discovered that 99 titles in Mexico Pampanga were transferred to Empire 999 under suspicious circumstances, including one previously owned by Tumang's brother, Alex Tumang. Listro noted that all transfers of tax declarations, at the very least, are usually known to local chief executives. Tumang denied knowing Yang and Ong, but Abang Lingkod Party Representative Joseph Paduano said he had undated pictures of the three of them traveling to Fujian, China. So you are lying. You are evasive, Paduano said. I'm sorry to say, but your style is bullock, Paduano said, noting that this is the second time that Tumang was cited in contempt by the local chamber. Tumang already served a contempt citation last November when the Committee on Public Accounts first investigated the Pampanga drug raid. And finally, onto international news, transgender students from kindergarten through college at Ohio public and private schools will be banned from using multi-person bathrooms that fit their gender identities under a measure that Republican Governor Mike DeWine has signed. DeWine signed the law out of public view on Tuesday over the objections of Democrats, teachers' unions, and civil rights groups, which had hoped that his objections to a ban on gender-affirming care for minors last year would carry through. But another veto, it takes effect in 90 days. The governor did not issue a statement on the signing of the state law. The Republican-backed measure, labeled the Protect All Students Act, requires public and private schools, colleges, and universities to designate separate bathrooms, locker rooms, and overnight accommodations for the exclusive use of either males or females based on one's gender assigned at or near birth in school buildings and other facilities used for school-sponsored events. It contains no enforcement mechanism. School employees, emergency situations, and people assisting young children or someone with a disability are exempted from the restrictions, and schools can still offer single-use or family bathrooms. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 11:29 a.m. and that is it for Cool News at 11 a.m. As always, we will return later at 12 noon for the latest news headlines right here. And you can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback through our email at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, my name is Caro, and this has been Cool News at 11. Coming up next on Cool FM is Working. Good morning.